In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. Well, I've been receiving messages from my friends and colleagues and students requesting me to explain the IELTS. So I decided to create a series of lectures explaining the whole process of IELTS examination. Today is our first lecture of the series, and it will be a brief orientation to IELTS exam. So as you can see here, IELTS, the first thing which you need to make sure is to pronounce the word correctly. It is not IELTS as pronounced by so many people or is pronounced by people. It is IELTS. IELTS. Okay, International English Language Testing System. This is basically an international benchmark examination which tests the English language proficiency of non-native speakers of the language against the standards decided by Common European Framework and British Council. So let's begin. What IELTS is? The first question, like, why should I take an IELTS exam? Or who should take an IELTS exam? What is IELTS? It is an international English language testing system. So it is not a course, it is not a certificate, it's only an exam. It's only a diagnostic exam which decides, which determines the English language proficiency of non-native speakers. There is a kind of ambiguity about this, like what IELTS is. So keep in mind, it is not a certificate, it is not a course, it's only an examination. Anyone can do it. Anyone can go and take IELTS exam as long as he or she has adequate or appropriate language proficiency. Now, the second question that can come to the mind of a speaker or a user is that, is there an alternative exam? Why should like is why should I go for IELTS? Why is or if there is any other exam available to replace IELTS? So the answer is yes. There are and depending on when you the interest and uses of the users or the speakers of the language. There is TOEFL, there is TOEIC, BEC, FCE, and many other exams. I'll explain them one by one in detail later. So, why IELTS? IELTS is basically recognized by every English speaking country. Why people go for IELTS? Why, like, not TOEIC? Why not BEC? Why not FCE? Why only IELTS? IELTS is acknowledged, it is recognized by almost every English speaking country. So if someone takes an IELTS, he is eligible to work or study in Canada, in America, in England, in Ireland, in Australia, in Austria, in even in Europe now. Though Europe is not an English language speaking society. They speak French, they speak Italian, they speak different other languages, but they also count and consider IELTS as the standard. Now, uh, who can take IELTS? students, professionals who want to study in an English speaking country, or who want to study abroad, or who want to work abroad should go for IELTS exam. Now, there are two kinds of IELTS exams: academic IELTS and general IELTS exam. So let's say I'm a student and I want to take admission in a university in the UK or in the US or in Ireland, or let's say in France even, or even in Sweden. So I will go for academic IELTS exam. But if I just want to go and work as a driver, as a as a general worker in an English language speaking country, then I should go for general IELTS. So there are two kinds of IELTS exam: academic and general. Now, where can you take an IELTS exam? Keep in mind the teachers or the instructors or the tutors do not leak all the information in one go. Otherwise, no one will go to them for studies or to take tuitions. So who can take where can you take an IELTS exam? You can take an IELTS exam in 125 different countries, and there are 500 centers all over the world that conduct IELTS examination. What is an ideal score in the IELTS exam? An ideal score, if someone wants to become a student, or if someone wants to do academic IELTS and work in an English language country, then the ideal score could be 6.5 to 7. And keep in mind, it's a band system. It's a band system.